You call the heartbeat automatic. You assume it continues without you. It begins before choice and continues through distraction and sleep. If it is not commanded by thought, what sustains it? Ibn Arabi asked this directly. He did not oppose science. He questioned the assumption beneath it. If the heart's rhythm is involuntary, is it detached from will, or is it sustained by a deeper will that includes you? He taught that every pulse is a sign of constant origination, life renewed at each instant. You realize the question is not medical, but metaphysical. What is the relation between your awareness and the source that keeps you alive? If the beat is not yours, whose is it? And if it is yours, who is the you that never turns it on? You test your certainty. You say, my decisions are mine. My body is mine. Yet you cannot start or stop the fundamental motions that sustain you. You influence them but do not create them. This raises doubt about ownership. If you do not control the basis of your life, how central is the I you defend? Ibn Arabi invites this doubt, not to weaken responsibility, but to correct attribution. He asks you to examine whether you have mistaken stewardship for sovereignty. You begin to notice how often you claim what you cannot produce. The doubt grows inward, quiet, and lucid. If agency appears within a field of given life, then will itself is nested inside a larger will. What exactly belongs to you? Ibn Arabi lived in 12th and 13th century Andalusia and the wider Islamic world, where scholars debated reason and revelation, transcendence and nearness. Many defended God's distance to protect divine majesty. Others emphasized nearness to affirm mercy and guidance. Ibn Arabi held both. He spoke of the one reality that appears through many forms while remaining beyond all forms. In this discourse, the heart was not only a physical organ, it was the locus of direct knowledge. The question of the heartbeat thus became a question about reality itself. Does life arise from separate beings, or does one being manifest as all lives without division? Ibn Arabi explained the doctrine of continual renewal. Existence is not a single event that lingers. It is a fresh bestowal at every instant. Continuity is only the mind's summary of many renewals. The heart's rhythm makes this intelligible. It is a sequence, not a block. Each moment of life is given, then given again. From this vantage, the you who claims life receives it rather than manufactures it. The gap between divine act and human awareness becomes visible. Not a spatial gap, but a conceptual one. The source does not depend on your notice, yet your notice is also sourced. If life is renewed now, what persists across the renewals that you can rightly call self? Is the self the receiver, the reception, or the giving that never pauses? You feel the tension. Part of you wants control. It wants a stable center that issues commands. Another part sees that control is partial and often late. The will often follows conditions it did not set. Ibn Arabi describes the ego as an attribution engine. It assigns authorship to secure identity. This is understandable, but it hides the deeper structure of dependence. Recognizing dependence seems threatening to the ego, yet it liberates the intellect. It clarifies what can be chosen and what can only be received. You can choose attention, honesty, and alignment. You cannot choose the basic fact of being alive right now. That fact precedes choice and makes choice possible. The conflict resolves when you distinguish between authorship and participation. Are you the source of the song, or the one who learns its measure and keeps time with it? You reconsider will. Instead of imagining it as an isolated force, You see it as a local expression within a comprehensive will. Your decisions become channels rather than origins. Ibn Arabi's language for this is unity within multiplicity. The one appears as many roles without ceasing to be one. Your will is real at its scale, yet it operates inside a larger grant of being. This is not fatalism. It is an accurate dependence. Responsibility remains, but its frame is corrected. You stop trying to own what can only be witnessed. You begin to align choice with what already sustains you. This shift is practical. It reduces inner noise. It simplifies deliberation. You ask a new question. Which choice harmonizes with reality as it gives itself now, rather than with the ego's need for possession? A clear realization appears. Awareness and life are inseparable. You never observe life from outside it. You are life being aware of itself here. Ibn Arabi teaches that the knower, the known, and the act of knowing meet in the heart. The mind classifies. The heart witnesses identity. When witnessing clarifies, the illusion of absolute separation weakens. You see that the same source that maintains the cosmos maintains you without remainder. The heartbeat becomes intelligible as a sign of ceaseless origination. You do not need spectacle to confirm this. The proof is logical. Dependence is total. Continuity is gifted. Agency is nested. From this, gratitude emerges, not as emotion, but as correct cognition. To recognize a source is to place attribution properly. What, then, is worship if not accurate attribution enacted through thought and deed? The inquiry becomes simple. You cease arguing for or against nearness. You examine attribution in each moment. You ask, what in this action is mine to intend, and what is already given? Stillness follows this clarity, not as a mood, but as reduced confusion. Ibn Arabi says the heart reflects reality without distortion when it is free of false claims. False claims generate agitation because they oppose what is. True claims resolve into ease because they align with what is. Stillness, then, is epistemic hygiene. It is the mind's agreement with the real. In this agreement, prayer becomes attention, and attention becomes accuracy. What further proof is required once misattribution ends and responsibility stands in its true domain? How do you live this? First, by observing attribution throughout the day. When action succeeds, you recognize skill and effort, yet you also recognize the conditions you did not generate. When action fails, you correct without despair, knowing your effort is nested. Second, by training with the intention to match reality rather than fantasy. You ask whether a plan cooperates with truth or resists it. Third, by treating every encounter as a disclosure of the one in a distinct configuration. Ibn Arabi insists this does not abolish ethics. It grounds it. If all derive from one source, accountability becomes more, not less, serious. You seek accuracy in speech, fairness in exchange, and humility in knowledge. The practical question remains, how often can you remember the source while acting within the stream of events? Return to the opening question. What connects the heartbeat to divine will? The answer is not a bridge between two separated powers. It is identity at a deeper level. Your life is included in the one life that never requires assistance to be. Ibn Arabi's hidden science is not a secret technique, but corrected by seeing. Life is continually renewed. Ownership is a useful convention, not an ultimate fact. Will is real, yet derivative. Awareness is a witness whose clarity restores proper attribution. With this, inquiry rests, not in passivity, but in precision. You live, choose, and respond within the grant that sustains all choosing. The mystery is not how the divine reaches you, but how you remember that you were never apart.